A gift can create opportunity faster than character can create stability. Write that down. A gift can take you into rooms your discipline has never been trained to survive. A gift can put your name on a platform while your private life is still unmanaged. A gift can cause people to celebrate you publicly while heaven is dealing with you privately. And this is the question I want you to ask yourself today. Can my gift destroy me if my character is weak? Don't answer too quickly, because most gifted people don't fall because they have no ability. They fall because their ability lifted them higher than their character could hold them. Talent attracts attention, but character carries responsibility. Influence attracts people, but character protects people. Skill can make people clap for you, but character determines whether God can trust you when they stop clapping. We have seen it again and again. A person rises quickly. They are intelligent. They are talented. They are anointed. They are persuasive. They can sing, preach, build, lead, speak, organize, inspire, and move crowds. Then suddenly something private becomes public and everybody acts shocked. But promotion didn't create the problem. Promotion exposed the problem. The room did not destroy them. The room revealed what was already ungoverned in them. Leadership. Take a deep breath. Leadership is not first a matter of gifting. Leadership is a matter of trust. Your gift may open the door, but only character can keep you qualified to remain in the room. If your character cannot manage appetite, fame, money, anger, secrecy, and power, then your gift has become dangerous. Not because the gift is evil, but because the container is weak. A gift without character is like power without control. It can bless, but it can also burn. It can heal, but it can also wound. It can gather people, but it can also damage the very people it gathered. That is why God is not impressed by your talent the way people are impressed by your talent. People measure your performance. God measures your government. People ask, can you do it? God asks, can you carry it? Some of you are not afraid of failing because you lack ability. You know you are gifted. You know you have ideas. You know there is something inside you. Your fear is deeper than failure. You are afraid of succeeding and then losing everything. You are afraid of the door opening before the foundation is ready. You are afraid that if people really saw the private battles, the public celebration would stop. That fear is not always the devil. Sometimes that fear is mercy calling you to character. Do not despise the season when God slows you down. Do not rebuke every delay. Do not call every closed door warfare. Sometimes God is protecting your future from your undeveloped self. Sometimes He is not withholding promotion. He is building the person who can survive it. So if you sense God dealing with your private life, stay with this teaching. Don't run from correction. Correction is proof that destiny is still alive. Subscribe if you want more teaching on kingdom purpose, leadership, and becoming the kind of person God can trust. And write in the comments, character before promotion. Say it until it becomes law in your heart. Character before promotion. Because the safest gift in the world is a gift governed by character. Now, when I say character before promotion, I am not attacking your gift. Your gift came from God. Don't become religious and start despising what God gave you. Gifts are not evil. Ambition is not evil. Visibility is not evil. Influence is not evil. Money is not evil. Success is not evil. The danger is when any of these things increase faster than your internal government. Write this down. Whatever God gives you, He expects your character to protect it. Read that one again in your spirit. Whatever God gives you, He expects your character to protect it. If He gives you a voice, character must protect the voice. If He gives you influence, character must protect the influence. If He gives you access, character must protect the access. If He gives you favor, character must protect the favor. If He gives you people, character must protect the people. Character is the container. Say container. Character is the vessel. Character is the boundary. Character is the protection system for every gift God puts in your life. Without character, the gift leaks. Without character, the gift becomes contaminated. Without character, the gift becomes a weapon in the hand of an immature person. That is why a gift without character It's not merely incomplete, it is unsafe. You can have a powerful engine in a car, but if the steering is broken, the power becomes dangerous. You can have electricity in a building, but if the wiring is corrupt, the power becomes fire. You can have water behind a dam, but if the wall is cracked, the thing meant to generate life becomes destruction. The problem is not the engine, the problem is not the electricity. The problem is not the water. The problem is the container. Some of you are asking God for more gift. God is asking you for more government. You are asking for a bigger platform. God is asking for a stronger foundation. You are asking for more people to hear you. God is asking, can you handle correction when no one is watching? Can you tell the truth when lying would protect your image? Can you stay pure when opportunity gives you privacy? Can you remain humble when applause gives you access to pride? Giftedness may impress people, but maturity determines whether people can trust you. Never confuse applause with trust. Applause is cheap. People can clap for a gift they do not trust. They can admire your talent and still be afraid of your character. They can celebrate your performance and still not give you their heart. Trust is deeper than admiration. Trust is the currency of leadership. And if your character is unstable, your account is in danger. Protect the account. Protect it in private. Protect it in conversations. Protect it in your phone. Protect it in your finances. Protect it in your appetite. Protect it when you travel. Protect it when you are tired. Protect it when you are praised. Protect it when you are offended. Because what you do when you think nobody sees is what determines whether you are safe when everybody sees. The larger the gift, the stronger the character required. A small cup can hold a small amount of water, but if you pour a river into a cup, you don't bless the cup, you break it. Some people are praying for rivers with cup-sized character. God says, I cannot pour that into you yet. Not because I hate you, not because I forgot you, not because your gift is small, but because blessing without capacity becomes pressure. A weak container turns blessing into pressure. The thing you prayed for begins to expose you. The platform becomes pressure. The relationship becomes pressure. The business becomes pressure. The ministry becomes pressure. The opportunity becomes pressure. Why? Because the blessing is heavier than the character. So now you are not enjoying the gift, you are trying to survive the weight of it. This is why God trains people in hidden places. He trained Joseph in a pit and in a prison before he trusted him in a palace. He trained David with sheep before he trusted him with a nation. He trained Moses in a wilderness before he sent him back to Egypt. God does not waste hidden seasons. Hidden seasons are where he builds the container. Hidden seasons are where he tests your law, your values, your morals, and your conscience. Before God promotes a person publicly, he tests what governs them privately. Not what they can do, what governs them. Appetite, fame, power, money, anger, desire, secrecy, offense. These are tests. And if you fail the private test and still demand public promotion, you are asking for exposure. Promotion does not hide weakness. Promotion magnifies it. So don't just ask, what is my gift? Ask, what is my government? Don't just ask, who sees my potential? Ask, can God trust my character? Don't just ask for open doors. Ask for a clean heart, a disciplined life, and a conscience that still trembles before God. Because the safest gift in the world is not the loudest gift. It is not the most famous gift. It is not the most marketable gift. The safest gift in the world is a gift inside a governed life. Promotion is a dangerous thing when it arrives before government. Write it down. Promotion does not create weakness. Promotion reveals the weakness that was never governed. The stage does not make you proud. It exposes the pride that was already there. Money does not make you dishonest. It exposes the dishonesty that was waiting for opportunity. Access does not make you immoral. It exposes the appetite that was never brought under law. Visibility is not approval. Say that again to yourself. Visibility is not approval. Just because people see you does not mean God is pleased with you. Just because doors are opening does not mean your heart is clean. Just because invitations are increasing does not mean your character is approved. A person can be famous and internally disqualified. A person can be platformed and privately collapsing. A person can be celebrated by people and grieved over by heaven. This is where many gifted people become confused. They think because they are functioning, they are formed. They think because the gift is working, the character is healthy. No. Function is not formation. Being used is not the same as being approved. God can use your gift while He is still confronting your character. God can bless people through your talent while He is warning you about your private life. Don't confuse impact with intimacy. Don't confuse results with righteousness. Samson still had strength while his character was dying. Saul still had a crown while his heart was already rejected. Judas still had a position while betrayal was growing inside him. So don't tell me, but God is still using me. That is not the question. The question is, can God trust you? Can God trust your appetite? Can God trust your fame? Can God trust your power? These are the three classic tests of character. Appetite, fame, power. Appetite tests what controls you. Fame tests what flatters you. Power tests what blinds you. If appetite rules you, fame flatters you, and power blinds you, your gift becomes dangerous. You may still be gifted, but you are not safe. You may still be able to perform, but you are not trustworthy. You may still be able to draw a crowd, but you may be damaging the people you draw. Appetite is the first test because appetite is close to the body. Food, drink, sex, comfort, pleasure, ease. Appetite says, I want it now. Character says, not if it violates law. Appetite says, nobody will know. Character says, God already knows. Appetite says, you deserve this. Character says, I am not governed by desire. Until your appetite can hear the word no, you are not ready for greater promotion. Then comes fame. Fame is subtle. Fame doesn't always come with crowds. Sometimes fame is simply the need to be seen, the need to be praised, the need to be mentioned, the need to be preferred. Fame tests whether applause can intoxicate you. Fame asks, do you still obey when nobody celebrates you? Fame asks, can you serve without being noticed? Fame asks, can you be corrected by people who are not impressed with you? Then comes power. Power is the ability to make decisions that affect other people. Power tests whether you will use people or serve people. Power tests whether authority makes you humble or makes you careless. Power tests whether you can sit in the big chair and still tremble before God. When power blinds a person, they stop listening. They stop repenting. They stop submitting. They start believing that rules are for other people. That is when collapse begins. Public collapse is usually private rebellion with an audience. The fall looked sudden to people, but it was slow in the heart. A little secrecy, a little compromise, a little lying, a little pride, a little offense, a little appetite, a little uncorrected behavior. Then promotion comes, and what was hidden becomes heavy. Some of you know what I am talking about. You are gifted, but you are nervous. You are talented, but you are afraid of what your talent is attracting. You feel the door opening, but you also feel the weakness in your foundation. You know your gift has taken you further than your discipline has prepared you to go. That fear is not always condemnation. Sometimes fear is wisdom knocking on the door. Don't waste that fear. Let it drive you back to God. Let it drive you back to accountability. Let it drive you back to prayer, truth, repentance, order, submission, and self-government. Fear becomes wisdom when it makes you prepare before you perform. Fear becomes protection when it makes you say, Lord, do not let me rise beyond my character. Take a deep breath. The issue is not whether you can be promoted. The issue is whether promotion can trust you. The issue is not whether people can recognize your gift. The issue is whether your private government can carry public responsibility. So stop begging God for visibility while resisting His correction. Stop asking for elevation while hiding disorder. Stop praying for nations while refusing accountability in your own house. Promotion without private government produces public collapse. But promotion with private government produces mature leadership. That is why God deals with the hidden man. That is why he corrects motives, appetites, attitudes, and desires before he increases influence. He is not trying to embarrass you. He is trying to preserve you. He is trying to keep your gift from destroying the very purpose it was born to serve. And this brings us to one of the most important laws of leadership. Write this down. Your greatest leadership asset is not your gift. It is the trust your character has earned. Read that one again. Your greatest leadership asset is not your gift. It is the trust your character has earned. People may come because of your gift, but they do not stay because of your gift. They stay because they trust you. They may admire your talent, but they follow your trustworthiness. They may be impressed by your voice, your mind, your ability, your creativity, your anointing, your business skill, your charisma. But leadership is not sustained by impression. Leadership is sustained by trust. Trust is the currency of leadership. Currency. That means if you don't have it, you cannot transact in leadership. You can have the title and no trust. You can have the office and no trust. You can have the pulpit and no trust. You can have the microphone and no trust. You can have followers online and no trust. And when trust is gone, the people may still hear you, but they no longer give themselves to you. They may still listen, but they are guarded. They may still clap, but they have withdrawn their heart. Every leader carries an account, not just a bank account, a trust account. Your wife has an account with your name on it. Your husband has an account with your name on it. Your children have an account with your name on it. Your staff has an account with your name on it. Your congregation has an account with your name on it. Your customers, your partners, your friends, your community, your nation, all of them are keeping an account. They may not call it that, but they are watching deposits and withdrawals. Every promise kept is a deposit. Every truth told when lying would have helped you is a deposit. Every private victory is a deposit. Every time you control appetite, that is a deposit. Every time you refuse secret compromise, that is a deposit. Every time you apologize without defending yourself, that is a deposit. Every time you show up on time, keep your word, handle money cleanly, speak with integrity, treat people with honor, and remain the same person in private that you are in public, you are making deposits. Trust is not built by announcements. Trust is built by consistency. Trust is built slowly. Test over time equals trust. Say that. Test over time equals trust. You don't demand trust because you have a gift. You earn trust because you pass tests. You pass the test of time. You pass the test of truth. You pass the test of pressure. You pass the test of correction. You pass the test of temptation. You passed the test when nobody was clapping and nobody was watching but God. That is why you must stop using the term trust me as a leadership strategy. Stop saying trust me. Don't tell me to trust you. Show me why trust is safe in your hands. Trust me is not evidence. Trust me is not character. Trust me is not a receipt. Trust me is not accountability. Trust is proven. Trust is documented by behavior. Trust is verified by time. Trust is confirmed when your life tells the same story over and over again. And here is the frightening part. What took years to deposit can be withdrawn in one foolish moment. One violation can withdraw 20 years of credibility. One lie, one affair, one secret account, one manipulated report, one abuse of power, one betrayal, one arrogant response, one moment when appetite defeated conscience. You can spend years building trust and lose it in seconds. That is why you must protect the account. Protect the account in your marriage. Don't let your gift make strangers admire you while your spouse cannot trust you. Protect the account in your fatherhood. Don't let the public call you great while your children call you absent. Protect the account in ministry. Don't preach righteousness with unclean hands. Protect the account in business. Don't build profit on broken promises. Protect the account in leadership. Don't use people to preserve your image. Your name is an account. When people hear your name, something is deposited in their mind. Your reputation is an account. Your influence is an account. Your credibility is an account. Your platform is an account. And character protects the balance. Character says, I will not spend in one night what took God years to help me build. Character says, I will not trade trust for pleasure. Character says, I will not trade credibility for secrecy. Character says, I will not trade my future for appetite. Take a deep breath. Some of you are richer in gift than you are in trust. That is dangerous. You have ability, but people are unsure of your stability. You have vision, but people are nervous about your integrity. You have passion, but people are watching your patterns. Don't be angry with them. They are protecting themselves. People have a right to require character from the people who lead them. So ask yourself, what is the balance in my account? Can my wife trust my words? Can my children trust my presence? Can my staff trust my decisions? Can my church trust my motives? Can my partners trust my numbers? Can God trust my private life? This is leadership, not noise, not image, not performance. Trust. Protect the account. Protect it when you are tired. Protect it when you are tempted. Protect it when you are lonely. Protect it when you are praised. Protect it when you have power. Because the door your gift opens will only remain safe when your character has earned enough trust to keep you in the room. Now we must go deeper. Because trust is not first protected in public. Trust is protected inside. Reputation is what people think about you. Character is what governs you when nobody is thinking about you. Image management can make you look clean while your soul is disordered. But character is not built by managing appearances. Character is formed when God's law becomes the private government of your conscience. Write that down. Character is formed when God's law becomes the private government of your conscience. Law, values, morals, conscience. This is the chain. Law reveals values. Values produce morals. Morals train conscience. And conscience governs decisions when no one is watching. Law is not your enemy. Law is the announcement of what God values. Whenever God gives a law, He is telling you what He considers valuable. If God says do not lie, He is revealing the value of truth. If God says do not steal, He is revealing the value of ownership and trust. If God says do not commit adultery, He is revealing the value of covenant. If God says honor your father and mother, He is revealing the value of authority, legacy, and order. So law identifies value. Value creates moral conviction. Moral conviction trains conscience. Then conscience becomes the voice inside you that says no, not because someone is watching, not because you may get caught, not because your reputation is at risk, but because wrong is wrong even when nobody sees it. Conscience is unspoken law. Law is conscience speaking out loud. When the law of God is written in your heart, you do not need a camera to behave. You do not need a board meeting to be honest. You do not need your spouse checking your phone to be faithful. You do not need an auditor to fear God with money. Something inside you says, this violates the law of my king. This is inner government. Leadership without inner government is dangerous. A gifted person with no inner law will use freedom as an excuse for appetite. They will call it creativity. They will call it pressure. They will call it weakness. They will call it privacy. But if law is not governing the conscience, the gift is exposed. Money will test your honesty. Attention will test your humility. Sexuality will test your discipline. Authority will test your service. Write it down. Money tests honesty. Attention tests humility. Sexuality tests discipline. Authority tests service. These are not small matters. These are the places where conscience must speak. When money comes into your hands, conscience must ask, is this clean? When attention comes toward your name, conscience must ask, am I still humble? When sexuality rises in your body, conscience must ask, am I governed? When authority is placed in your hands, conscience must ask, am I serving or using people? If your conscience is alive, it will interrupt you. It will make you uncomfortable before sin becomes action. It will disturb you before compromise becomes habit. It will trouble you before secrecy becomes a lifestyle. Thank God for a conscience that still troubles you. Don't silence it. Don't drug it with excuses. Don't bury it under success. Don't argue with it until it stops talking. Because when conscience becomes quiet, danger is already near. Take a deep breath. If you can do wrong and feel nothing, that is not strength, that is disease. If you can lie and sleep well, that is not freedom. That is danger. If you can betray trust and feel no conviction, you are already in trouble. The worst condition of a gifted person is not failure. The worst condition is a dead conscience with a functioning gift. Culture will not help you here. Culture changes its values every few years. Culture says exposure is greatness. The kingdom says faithfulness is greatness. Culture says be seen. The kingdom says be faithful. Culture says build your brand. The kingdom says keep your covenant. Culture says do whatever works. The kingdom says do what is right. Culture says if no one knows, it doesn't matter. The kingdom says God sees. So stop letting culture define your values. If culture defines your values, your morals will shift with popularity. And if your morals shift, your conscience becomes negotiable. 1 year, you are convicted. The next year, you are explaining it. One season, you call it sin. The next season, you call it your truth. Be careful. When you reject moral law, conscience becomes a lawyer instead of a judge. It stops correcting you and starts defending you. That is when gifted people become dangerous. They can explain everything. They can justify everything. They can spiritualize everything. They can make wrong sound reasonable. They can make rebellion sound like wisdom. They can make appetite sound like liberty. But a clean conscience does not negotiate with sin. A governed conscience says, no, this is not who I am. This is not the law of my king. This is not safe for my assignment. Ask yourself, what governs me when I am alone? What law is speaking in my mind? What values are shaping my decisions? What morals are training my behavior? Is my conscience loud or quiet? Does it still tremble before God? Does it still correct me before people have to confront me? Does it still make me confess quickly? Does it still make me apologize without being forced? Protect that voice. Protect your conscience. Because your conscience is the alarm system of your character. When the alarm stops sounding, the enemy does not need to break in loudly. He walks in quietly. He enters through appetite, through fame, through power, through offense, through weariness, through secrecy. And by the time the public sees the collapse, the conscience had already stopped governing the private life. So today, don't just polish your image. Submit your conscience to law. Let God's word become government inside you. Let His values become your values. Let His morals become your boundaries. Let your conscience become so trained by truth that temptation cannot bribe it, praise cannot seduce it, power cannot blind it, and privacy cannot deceive it. This is character. This is safety. This is how the gift remains clean. Now, once the conscience is submitted to law, God begins to test the vessel. Write this down. God tests the vessel before He trusts it with greater weight. He does not test you because He hates your gift. He tests you because He loves your purpose. He tests you because what He placed in you is too important to be carried by an ungoverned life. The three tests are appetite, fame, and power. Appetite asks what controls you. Fame asks whose approval do you need. Power asks who do you become when no one can correct you. These three will visit every gifted person. They may not come with the same faces, but they will come. They will come to the preacher, the politician, the entrepreneur, the artist, the musician, the parent, the leader, the young person with potential, the old person with influence. No one escapes these tests. Appetite is not just food and sex. Appetite is any desire that demands to be fed without boundaries. Appetite is the craving that says, give me this now. Appetite is the impulse that refuses delay. Appetite is the hunger that argues with law. It can be food. It can be drink. It can be sex. It can be comfort. It can be attention. It can be money. It can be shopping. It can be entertainment. It can be control. It can be revenge. Anything that demands satisfaction without submission has become an appetite. And if you cannot tell your appetite no, your gift is not safe yet. You may be talented, but you are not governed. You may be anointed, but you are not disciplined. You may be brilliant, but you are still a servant of desire. Appetite becomes dangerous when it starts giving instructions to your destiny. It says, risk the account. It says, hide it. It says, you deserve it. It says, just this once, be careful. Just this once has destroyed many people who were carrying great assignments. Then comes fame. Fame is dangerous because applause can become a drug. At first, you are thankful that people appreciate the gift. Then you begin to need it. Then you begin to chase it. Then you begin to change yourself to keep it. And after a while, correction feels like persecution. Anyone who questions you becomes an enemy. Anyone who challenges your behavior becomes jealous. Anyone who speaks truth becomes negative. That is the disease of fame. Fame intoxicates the gifted person until they confuse admiration with authority. They say, look how many people follow me, but followers do not prove character. They say, look how many people clap for me, but applause does not cleanse the heart. They say, look how many doors are opening, but open doors are not always divine approval. Sometimes open doors are tests. Sometimes God lets the room get bigger to show you what was already growing inside you. Read this in your own heart. I must not become too gifted to be corrected. Say it again inside yourself. I must not become too gifted to be corrected. The day correction becomes an insult to you, fame has already infected your spirit. The day you need praise more than truth, you are in danger. The day you only keep people around you who admire you, you are building a platform without a guardrail. Correction is not your enemy. Correction is mercy with a hard voice. Accountability is not restriction. Accountability is protection. The person who can correct you is more valuable than the person who only celebrates you. Celebration may encourage your gift, but correction preserves your character. And if your gift gets you into rooms where nobody can tell you the truth, run for cover. You are too exposed. Then comes power. Power asks, who do you become when no one can correct you? Power is dangerous because it gives your character opportunity. If you are humble, power gives you more capacity to serve. If you are selfish, power gives you more tools to use people. If you are pure, power gives you more reach for righteousness. If you are corrupt, power gives corruption a larger stage. Power without submission turns leaders into victims of their own authority. They think they are in control, but they are being controlled by the very power they carry. They stop listening. They stop apologizing. They stop explaining. They stop submitting. They begin to believe their own press. They begin to think the rules that govern others no longer govern them. That is when authority becomes a trap. Never trust power in the hands of a person who is not under authority. If you cannot submit, you are not safe to lead. If you cannot be questioned, you are not safe to decide. If you cannot be corrected, you are not safe to influence. The first qualification for authority is not charisma, it is submission. Even Jesus submitted to the Father. So who are you? Take a deep breath. These tests are not designed to destroy you. They are designed to reveal where character must be strengthened before a greater assignment. When God exposes an appetite, He is not trying to shame you. He is showing you where government is weak. When He allows fame to test you, He is showing you whether applause has become your oxygen. When He places power near you, He is showing you whether your heart serves or dominates. So don't curse the test. Learn from it. If appetite exposes you, build discipline. If fame exposes you, return to humility. If power exposes you, submit again to authority. Let God strengthen the vessel before He increases the weight. Because the purpose is not merely to get you promoted. The purpose is to keep you clean when promotion comes. Your gift must pass the test. Not once, continually. Appetite, fame, and power will keep asking questions. And character must keep answering, I am governed by God. I am submitted to truth. I am not for sale. I will protect the account. I will not let my gift rise higher than my character. Now, let me talk to the person whose character has cracked. Let me talk to the gifted person who failed the test. Let me talk to the leader whose private life became public, whose trust account was damaged, whose name is now being discussed in rooms where you are not present. What do you do when the gift is still there, but trust has been injured? What do you do when people still know you can perform, but they are no longer sure they can believe you? Write this down. When character fails, your first assignment is not to recover your platform. It is to recover truth. Not your microphone, not your title, not your position, not your invitation schedule. Truth. Because if you lose truth and keep the platform, you are more dangerous than before. You can preach with a lie in your mouth. You can lead with a cover-up in your heart. You can perform while your conscience is bleeding. That is not recovery. That is deeper damage. The first temptation after failure is explanation. You want to explain why it happened. You want to blame pressure, loneliness, betrayal, fatigue, childhood, ministry, business, marriage, people, enemies, stress. Be careful. Explanation can become another form of rebellion. Don't use words to escape responsibility. Don't use your pain to excuse your sin. Don't use your history to defend your violation. Shut your mouth long enough for truth to speak. You are not ready to be restored while you are still defending the crack. The crack is not your enemy. The crack is evidence. It shows where the vessel was weak. It shows where appetite was ungoverned. It shows where fame intoxicated you. It shows where power blinded you. If you defend the crack, you defend the weakness that destroyed trust. And people cannot trust a person who protects image more than truth. This is why failure in leadership is serious. But mishandled failure is often more destructive than the fall itself. The fall wounds trust. Denial poisons trust. The fall creates grief. Blame creates fear. The fall says something broke. Justification says, I still cannot be trusted. If you fail and confess, there is hope. If you fail and manipulate, there is danger. If you fail and humble yourself, God can work. If you fail and perform innocence, you are digging a deeper grave for your credibility. Stop explaining. Stop blaming. Stop performing. Stop demanding that people understand you. Stop demanding your platform back. Stop telling people, but God forgave me. Yes, God may forgive immediately. Thank God for mercy. But forgiveness is not the restoration of trust. Write it down. Forgiveness is not the restoration of trust. Forgiveness deals with guilt before God. Trust deals with credibility before people. God can cleanse your heart in a moment, but people need time, evidence, and process before they give you access again. This is where many gifted people become foolish. They think because they cried, everyone should trust them. They think because they apologize, the account is full again. No, an apology is the beginning of repair, not the completion of restoration. Tears are not proof of transformation. Emotion is not evidence of character. You can cry because you were exposed, not because you were changed. You can be sorry for consequences and still not be submitted to truth. So what do? Confess. Not partially, not strategically, not in a way that protects the parts you still want to hide. Confess truthfully. Humble yourself. Don't manage the narrative. Don't attack the people who found out. Don't punish the person who confronted you. Don't call accountability betrayal. Accountability is mercy when your own conscience failed to stop you. Then submit yourself to godly authority. Not friends who need your favor. Not people impressed by your gift. Not people you can control. Identify authority that fears God more than it fears losing your relationship. Identify authority that will tell you no. Identify authority that can investigate, correct, restrict, restore, and represent you. Then submit without condition. If you are still negotiating the terms, you are not submitted. If you are still telling authority how long the process should take, you are not ready. Run for cover. Cover is not concealment. Cover is authority. Cover is order. Cover is the place where truth can examine you without the crowd controlling the process. Some people run to publicity when they should run to authority. They post statements. They make videos. They preach comeback messages. They try to use the same gift that created admiration to repair the trust that character damaged. No! Sit down. Be quiet. Let truth do surgery. Silence is not weakness in a crisis. Silence can be humility. Silence can be discipline. Silence can be the first evidence that you are no longer trying to control everything. There is a time to speak, but not every mouth is qualified to speak immediately after failure. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is shut your mouth, bow your head, tell the truth to authority, and let someone who is not intoxicated by your image guide the process. And let me give you hope without lying to you. You can come back after a fall. David came back. Peter came back. Many leaders have come back stronger, cleaner, wiser, humbler. But they did not come back by defending the fall. They came back through truth. They came back through repentance. They came back through submission. They came back through time. They came back when character had been rebuilt enough for trust to begin making deposits again. Take a deep breath. If your character cracks, don't protect the platform. Protect the truth. Don't fight for visibility. Fight for purity. Don't rush to be seen. Rush to be clean. Because God is not trying to destroy you when He confronts you. He is trying to save the assignment from the weakness that could destroy it later. So if you are in crisis, hear me. Tell the truth. Humble yourself. Submit to authority. Accept process. Give people time. Let trust be rebuilt by evidence. Protect the account by refusing to lie again. There is life after failure, but only for the person who stops defending the crack and lets God rebuild the character. Restoration is not an announcement. Write that down. Restoration is not an announcement. It is a proven process under authority. You don't restore yourself because you feel better. You don't restore yourself because people miss your gift. You don't restore yourself because the crowd is divided. You don't restore yourself because you still have followers. Trust is not restored by volume. Trust is restored by evidence. This is where many leaders fail after they fail. They think the fall is over when the confession is made. No, confession opens the door to restoration. But confession is not restoration. Tears open the wound, but process cleans it. Apology acknowledges damage, but time proves change. If you bypass process, you may be forgiven and still remain unsafe. No man restores himself to trust. No woman restores herself to trust. You cannot stand in front of the same people whose trust was damaged and declare, I am ready now. Who told you that? Your emotions? Your friends? Your followers? Your need to preach again? Your bills? Your loneliness? Your embarrassment? No. Restoration requires authority beyond your feelings and beyond public pressure. The crowd is not qualified to restore you. The crowd can punish you one day and praise you the next day. The crowd can crucify you on Friday and quote you on Sunday. Public opinion is too unstable to govern restoration. You need authority. You need someone who fears God more than they fear your gift. You need someone who is not impressed by your name. You need someone who can say, not yet, and you don't punish them for loving you enough to protect you. Here is the path. Write it down. Identify trustworthy authority. Submit without conditions. Accept correction. Allow that authority to speak for your readiness. Return only when trust has evidence. This is not complicated, but it is painful because pride hates process. First, identify trustworthy authority. Not a fan. Not a business partner who profits from your return. Not a friend who always agrees with you. Not someone who needs your platform. Authority must be clean enough to confront you, strong enough to restrict you, wise enough to understand process, and loving enough not to destroy you while correcting you. The person who restores you must care more about your character than your schedule. Second, submit without conditions. That means you don't tell authority, I will submit if the process is short. No, that is not submission. You don't say, I will submit if I can still travel. No. You don't say, I will submit if nobody knows. No. Submission with conditions is negotiation. Real submission says, examine me, correct me, restrict me, help me become trustworthy again. Third, accept correction. Correction is not rejection. Correction is not abuse. Correction is not hatred. Correction is surgery. And surgery hurts because it is removing what would kill you later. If your authority says, step down, step down. If they say, stop speaking, stop speaking. If they say, get counsel, get counsel. If they say, repay the money, repay the money. If they say, make restitution, make restitution. Don't argue with the medicine because you don't like the taste. Fourth, allow others to speak for your readiness. This is important. You are not the witness of your own restoration. Someone else must be able to say, we have watched him. Someone else must be able to say, we have tested her. Someone else must be able to say, there is evidence. You cannot be the judge, the witness, the lawyer, and the accused at the same time. Sit down. Let authority represent you. David confessed. He did not defend the sin. Peter wept, but he was not restored by tears alone. Jesus restored him through love and responsibility. Do you love me? Then feed. Love had to become responsibility again. Broken confidence had to be rebuilt through assignment under the voice of the master. Mature leaders were tested before they were trusted. In the kingdom, restoration is never sentiment alone. It is love with government. And then comes time. Oh, we hate time. Gifted people hate time because gift wants to move quickly. But time is one of God's instruments of mercy. Time reveals whether repentance was emotional or real. Time allows patterns to be proven. Time purifies motives. Time lets damaged people heal. Time lets the account of trust begin receiving deposits again. Test over time equals trust. Say it again. Test over time equals trust. Not test in one service. Not test in one apology. Not test in one interview. Time, patterns, consistency, submission, humility. Clean decisions when nobody is clapping. Faithfulness when nobody is inviting you. Obedience when nobody is watching. That is how trust comes back. Don't rush to return. A premature return can destroy what mercy was trying to rebuild. If you come back before character is healed, you return with the same weakness, wearing new language. You learn better words, but you carry the same appetite. You sound humble, but you remain unsubmitted. You talk about lessons, but you still resist correction. That is dangerous. Some people come back too quickly because the gift is still strong. Listen to me. The gift was never the problem. The container was the problem. If the container is cracked and you pour more influence into it, the leak becomes greater. God is not impressed that you can still preach, still sing, still build, still lead, still attract. He is looking for a vessel that can carry weight without leaking integrity. So stop calling process punishment. Process is protection. Process is mercy with structure. Process is God saying, I still have purpose for you, but I will not let your gift destroy you. Process protects the people you hurt. Process protects the people who still believe in you. Process protects your family. Process protects your future. Process protects the account. If you are under restoration, don't despise hiddenness. Hiddenness can heal what visibility exposed. Let God rebuild your inner government. Let authority test your obedience. Let time prove your repentance. Let trust return slowly. Slow trust is stronger than quick applause. There is a way back, but the way back is not self-announcement. It is truth under authority, correction under love, patience under process, and evidence over time. When God restores a leader properly, He does not merely return the gift to the platform. He rebuilds the character so the platform no longer becomes a threat. Now listen carefully. Protection before promotion is the mercy of God. Write it down. God is not trying to hide your gift. He is trying to protect your future. He is not jealous of your potential. He gave it to you. He is not afraid of your influence. He designed you for it. But He knows that visibility without character can turn purpose into tragedy. Some of you are angry because doors have not opened yet. You call it delay. God calls it development. You call it rejection. God calls it protection. You call it being overlooked. God calls it being covered. Because if He opened the door before the vessel was ready, the same door you prayed for could become the door that exposes you. Stop cursing the season that is building the character your next level requires. Correction is not rejection. Accountability is not punishment. Private discipline is not wasted time. Hidden obedience is not small. These are the tools God uses to protect the account before the account carries greater weight. Read this one in your heart. God protects my destiny by strengthening my character before increasing my visibility. Say it again. God protects my destiny by strengthening my character before increasing my visibility. Because visibility magnifies what is already there. If humility is there, visibility magnifies service. If pride is there, visibility magnifies arrogance. If purity is there, visibility magnifies trust. If corruption is there, visibility magnifies damage. God's original purpose was never merely that you display potential. Potential is not enough. Gifts are not enough. Talent is not enough. Anointing is not enough. God's purpose is that you represent His nature in the earth. That means your gift must not only work, your life must witness. Your success must not only attract people, your character must point them to God. Your leadership must not only produce results, it must reveal righteousness. This is why character is connected to dominion. Dominion without character becomes domination. Write it down. Dominion without character becomes domination. When a person has authority without humility, they use people. When a person has influence without love, they manipulate people. When a person has power without conscience, they oppress people. That is not kingdom dominion. That is fallen nature with a title. But dominion with character becomes service, order, and blessing. When character governs dominion, power becomes a tool for protection. Influence becomes a platform for truth. Authority becomes a covering for people, not a weapon against them. The leader does not dominate. The leader serves. The leader does not consume. The leader cultivates. The leader does not take advantage. The leader brings order. That is why God forms the inside before He increases the outside. He deals with your motives before He expands your ministry. He deals with your appetite before He gives you access. He deals with your pride before He gives you prominence. He deals with your secrecy before He gives you stewardship. Because God is not just preparing you for a door, He is preparing you to survive the door. Some of you need to change your prayer. Stop praying only, Lord, open the door. Pray, Lord, build a character to survive the door. Stop praying only, Lord, promote me. Pray, Lord, govern me. Stop praying only, Lord, use me. Pray, Lord, make me trustworthy. Because an open door with weak character is dangerous. A promotion without private government is a setup for public collapse. You don't need more exposure if you don't have more discipline. You don't need more followers if you don't have more truth. You don't need more opportunity if you don't have more obedience. The mercy of God may be the closed door. The mercy of God may be the leader who told you no. The mercy of God may be the season where nobody calls your name. Because in that place, God is saving you from being destroyed by what you are not yet ready to carry. So don't despise the process. Don't despise the small room. Don't despise correction. Don't despise the people who hold you accountable. Don't despise the hidden years. Hiddenness is not always punishment. Sometimes hiddenness is construction. God builds deep before He builds high. If the foundation is weak, height becomes dangerous. This is not a call to hide in fear. No, God did not give you a gift so you could bury it. He did not call you to live intimidated. He did not create you to shrink from responsibility. The goal is not fear-based hiding. The goal is mature, trustworthy influence. The goal is a gift governed by character. The goal is a leader who can enter the room and remain clean in the room. The goal is promotion that does not destroy the promoted. So thank God for protection before promotion. Thank Him for the closed door that kept you alive. Thank Him for the correction that saved your conscience. Thank Him for the authority that restrained your pride. Thank Him for the delay that exposed your motives. Thank Him for the private discipline that strengthened your vessel. Because when God finally opens a door that character can carry, you won't have to fake humility. You won't have to manufacture integrity. You won't have to beg people to trust you. Your life will have evidence. Your account will have deposits. Your gift will not be running ahead of your soul. Protect the account. Protect the vessel. Protect the purpose. Let God build the character that can carry the assignment. Then when promotion comes, it will not be a threat to your destiny. It will become a platform for service, order, blessing, and the faithful representation of the nature of God. Now as we close, hear me carefully. The safest gift in the world is a gift governed by character. Write that down. Not the loudest gift, not the most famous gift, not the most celebrated gift. The safest gift is the gift that has been brought under government. Because your gift can open doors, but your character determines whether you are qualified to remain in the room. Your gift may bring attention, but character keeps trust. Your gift may create opportunity, but character protects destiny. We have walked through a serious matter. We have said that character is the container that makes the gift safe. We have said that promotion does not create weakness. Promotion reveals the weakness that was never governed. We have said that trust is the currency of leadership, and every leader carries an account of trust. We have said that law forms values, values form morals, and morals inform conscience. We have said that appetites, fame, and power will test the vessel. We have said that when character cracks, don't defend the crack. Tell the truth. Submit to authority. Accept process. Let time prove change. And we have said that protection before promotion is not rejection, it is the mercy of God. So now the question is not, do I have a gift? Many of you already know you have a gift. The question is, do I have the character to carry it? Don't answer too quickly. Take a deep breath. Look inside. Where is your gift ahead of your discipline? Where is your influence ahead of your obedience? Where is your platform ahead of your purity? Where is your opportunity ahead of your accountability? That is the place God wants to govern this week. Don't wait for a scandal to build character. Don't wait for exposure to tell the truth. Don't wait for collapse to become accountable. Bring the private place under God's law now. Bring the appetite under government now. Bring the secret conversation under government now. Bring the money under government now. Bring the relationship under government now. Bring the ambition under government now. Because whatever you refuse to govern in private will eventually negotiate with your destiny in public. This week, choose one area, not 10. One, identify the place where your gift is moving faster than your character. Then bring it to God. Bring it to truth. Bring it to a trustworthy authority if it needs accountability. Make a decision that your purpose is too important to be destroyed by an ungoverned appetite. Your family is too important. Your assignment is too important. The people who trust you are too important. The name of God on your life is too important. Now say this in your heart, and if you can say it out loud, say it. My gift will not outrun my character. My purpose will not be destroyed by my appetite. My influence will be protected by integrity. Say it again. My gift will not outrun my character. My purpose will not be destroyed by my appetite. My influence will be protected by integrity. That is not just a statement. That is a decision. That is government. That is a leader telling his soul, you will not destroy what God gave me. That is a woman telling her future, I will not trade destiny for pleasure. That is a man telling his ambition, you will serve purpose. You will not control me. Character is chosen daily. Integrity is chosen when nobody is watching. Trust is protected before anybody knows it was in danger. And if this teaching has searched you, don't run from conviction. Conviction is not condemnation. Conviction is God's mercy touching your conscience before consequences touch your life. Thank God when He corrects you early. Thank God when He restrains you privately. Thank God when He sends someone to confront you before the world has to discuss you. That is love. That is protection. That is the Father guarding your future. I want you to put your decision in writing. If you are watching this comment with the truth, you are choosing to live. I choose character before promotion, or my character will carry my gift. Don't write it as a slogan. Write it as a vow. Write it as a reminder to your own conscience. Write it as a deposit in your trust account. Let your words agree with your future. And if you are committed to becoming the kind of leader God can trust, subscribe and continue growing in this kind of teaching. Share this with someone carrying a serious gift, because gifted people need protection, not just applause. They need truth, not just admiration. They need government, not just opportunity. We must raise leaders whose gifts are powerful, but whose character is stronger. There is life after correction. There is restoration after failure. There is a future for the gifted person who submits their character to God. You are not finished because God corrected you. You are not rejected because He delayed you. You are not forgotten because He hid you. He is building the vessel. He is protecting the account. He is preparing the leader. So choose character, choose truth, choose accountability, choose obedience, choose the private government that can carry public assignment. And when the door opens, may your gift enter with humility. May your influence be protected by integrity. May your leadership be trusted because your character has been tested. And may your life prove this principle. The safest gift in the world is a gift governed by character.